you're somebody who worries about what other people think of you, especially after you feel like you've changed as a person, then be sure to like this video because it's going to be for you. Hi, I'm Naomi. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Make sure that you subscribe. This whole video came around because last weekend I attended a root chakra grounding yoga and sound bath workshop, and the person who was running the workshop has come so far in the last 5 years. The person that she was then is so different from the person that she is now today, and it sparked this thought in me about how brave she was to do that workshop. And brave sounds really patronizing, so I don't mean it that way. Amazing the information that she gave to us in that workshop was. She's a yoga teacher now, how good she was at yoga, not just like teaching us it, but showing us as she's teaching us, and everyone's like wobbling and like finding it hard to do a downwards dog, and she's just flowing along. It just opened up this thought to me that it's actually really scary to change as a person and be quite a long way from who you were before, and then actually put yourself out there as this new person. And you know, I think sometimes we go through this as like teenagers as well, when we decide we want a certain look and we start wearing those clothes or doing our hair and makeup in a certain way, and the first reaction from the people around you is like, oh, that's different, or has some sort of an opinion because you're now showing up differently and you're going out into the world looking and behaving maybe very differently. But it's just that you're maybe becoming more of who you are, or you're exploring new things. But then when you change and have to or want to move forward in a way that's different to how people know you, you can find yourself really kind of wanting to retreat and hold back and not fully shine as the person that you are. And I don't believe that you're supposed to live your life not shining and not expressing the true version of who you are. There's always going to be parts of yourself that you maybe don't want to share with everybody and wouldn't be appropriate to put out there and share with other people. But if you're worried about what people think of you because you've changed, and you know that they hold a belief about your identity that is no longer you, the really, really good thing to recognize and know is that their opinion of you really is not your concern. And if you think about it, we all walk around and we see people, or we know people, or we come across people, and we hold a version of who we believe them to be. That is our opinion on who we think they are. If you're the same person in your 30s that you were in your 20s, or the same person in your 40s that you were in your 30s, then it shows that you probably haven't grown very much, and that's fine. There's no rules. You don't have to grow. But what a shame if you've gone through life and not grown and changed as a person, and not moved with, not only with the times, but with your own identity of who you are. So the way that you might be thinking about a certain person from your past, their past, or the way that they might see themselves could be completely different. So we all hold different opinions and beliefs about people based on who they were, not based on who they are today. So if you're somebody that's struggling with how people will see you, first of all, know that how they feel about you is up to them, and the beliefs they hold about you are up to them. But it's a waste of time for you to try and figure out how they feel about you, because you just don't know. They may have changed as a person as well. So I love the phrase, people are for a season, reason, or a lifetime. And it's really true. You know, we'll go through certain stages of life with certain people and it's all great, but they were there for a season of our life, and then we both grow and change, or maybe one person grows and changes, the other person stays very much the same. Other people are brought in for reasons. We tend to think of these people more as the tough lessons that we've had to learn, the more toxic relationships, and we tend to move away from those as soon as we can, as soon as we grow enough to move away from them. And it can be used against you, especially if you're dealing with a toxic person and you start empowering yourself and you start changing and becoming a better version of yourself. Then somebody who's toxic might be like, I know the real you, I know that you're, you know, trying to be XYZ, but really I remember when you were this person, and they're trying to drag you you back to that old version of yourself that you no longer identify with and no longer want to be. And then there's other people that will just be there for the duration, and they accept any version of you that you choose to step into. They support you, they lovingly point out to you when maybe you've changed in a bad way. Maybe you used to be this certain type of person and you feel like you've regressed back and you're not as good a person as you are anymore. And there's going to be those people that stick with you through it. They're your people, and it's really helpful. One of the most helpful things that my therapist ever said to me years ago was, let it be fluid. Like, don't feel like you have to be the same person, especially not just because of what other people think of you. Let your life, let your experiences, let your beliefs, let them be fluid, let them change over time. Life should change you. You should grow. You should have the desire to level up and to do new things and go on to a different expression of yourself. Just knowing and understanding that everyone is going to hold a different version of who you are inside their own minds anyway can help soothe that kind of need for acceptance or worrying about what other people are going to think of you, especially when you've changed. So keep focusing on what you want, who you want to become, what you want from your one life, because at the end of the day, this is your life. And if you're living it worrying about what other people think of you, then you're never ever actually going to live your own life on your own terms. I hope that that's helpful to you, and I'll catch you next time.